the 2010s NBA teams from best to worst. Number 30 on my list is the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets were number 30 out of 30 in simple rating system, which means they were the worst overall on offense and on defense, worst overall in pace, worst overall in best player, worst overall in record. They just sucked. Number 29 on my list is the Sacramento Kings. They are number 30 in defense and they had zero playoff experience. That's crazy. Not just that, they also had the worst record. They did not light the beam and they were kind of more watchable than the Nets just because they had no 70 loss season, but they still sucked. Number 28 on my list, the Detroit Pistons. I mean, they had two playoff series where they got swept both times. They're just 10 years of just been trash. You made the playoffs, but you don't win a game. That's basically just not making the playoffs. Number 27 on my list, the Charlotte Hornets. So first of all, they had three playoff appearances, but they had the worst team ever, 7-59 in 2011-12. They can't go higher if you literally have the worst team ever assembled on your roster. Number 26, the New York Knicks. That's right, they also had three playoffs, just like the Charlotte Hornets, who had the worst team ever. They had a second round exit though, and they had Carmelo Anthony, but they still had a 17-win season. That's why they're 26. Look at their record. Yuck. My number 25 is the Minnesota Timberwolves because they had one playoff series. They were watchable offensively. That one season with Jimmy Butler, they made the playoffs with those third stringers as well. But apart from that, they were just terrible. How do you make the playoffs once only? My number 24, the Phoenix Suns. They went to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers, and they were a few possessions away from making it a 7-game series in 2010. They also had a 54-win season where they didn't make the playoffs, which is crazy in 2000, but it is what it is. One playoff appearance, but you made the Western Conference Finals in that one appearance, so yeah, 24 is okay. Next on my list, the Philadelphia 76ers. 27 out of 30 in record, but they made the playoffs 4 times somehow. How do you even do that? They had a 52-win season as well. Like, they had the process during this decade, but they still managed to also have a 52-win season. So, good for them. Number 22, gone with the Orlando Magic. They're just, this is where the mid teams are. Just teams which, they were good at some things, trash at other things. This team had a 59-win season in 2010, and they were pretty good on defense, so they're better than the trash teams. My number 21, the New Orleans Pelicans. They are also mid, and they swept the Blazers once in 2017, so go them. They get to go up a little bit, and they get to way overtake the Blazers as well. My number 20, Washington Wizards. Like I said, we've entered the mid-team season, 4 playoff appearances, but a big losing record. Simple rating system. Look at their offensive rating and their defensive rating. They weren't really good at anything. But they had some good seasons, they had some bad seasons. Decent mid-team. My number 19, the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, they had a 60-win season. That's the main reason they're up here. They had 6 playoff appearances as well. But here's the problem. Apart from a couple good seasons at the end, they were kind of really, really bad. So for that, you gotta go all the way down to number 19. My number 18, the Memphis Grizzlies. 7 straight playoff appearances. They were 7th in defense for a decade. They had second round exits and a Western Conference final exit as well. Another mid, but they were an elite team for a couple seasons, so number 18. My number 17, the Chicago Bulls. Just like the Grizzlies' 7 playoff series, played good defense, number 5, but they were still trash. Number 17, 4 first round exits, 2 second round exits in the Eastern Conference Finals, but winning record, so gotta go over a bunch of teams. My number 16, the Utah Jazz. Good on offense, good on defense. Losers still. Not losers, they won more than they lost, but they didn't really win. 5 playoff appearances. But, I mean, congrats. The worst season was only 25 games. Won. Okay? My number 15, the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, this one's going to be really, really, really controversial because they have a championship. Apart from that championship, they had a losing record. They were pretty trash on offense and pretty trash on defense. They had a 17-win season and only 4 playoff appearances. So they were one of the bad teams this decade. But they won a championship to start it off, so I'll put them right in the middle at number 15. Lakers fans, please leave me alone. My number 14, the Portland Trail Blazers. 8 playoff appearances in 10 seasons, 3 second rounds, and 1 Western Conference Finals. I mean, they're better than every other team we've named so far. Maybe not the Lakers, because the Lakers won a championship, but that's up to you guys to hate on. I think the Portland Trail Blazers did better in the 2010s. My number 13, the Atlanta Hawks. 8 straight playoff appearances, 3 losing seasons. Only 3. 3 second round exits and 1 Eastern Conference Finals. That's pretty good. Right in the middle there with record. We all know the Hawks are mid, but 8 playoff appearances and a 60-win season. They gotta get some respect, and here it is, number 13. My number 12, Denver Nuggets. Nuggets were really good in the regular season for 5 seasons, and then they were trash in the regular season for 5 seasons. They lost in the second round in 2019, and I guess that's basically everything. They were decent in record, winning games, good offensively, decent defensively. Yeah, number 12. My number 11, Indiana Pacers. They were really good when they made it to the playoffs. They had 8 playoff appearances, 5 of them first round exits, and they lost in the second round in 2012. They came very close to the NBA Finals in 2013 and 14. They still ended up losing in 7 and 6 games respectively, but they almost made the finals, and they were pretty good the rest of the decade. So yeah, Pacers number 11. My number 10, the Dallas Mavericks. Not a great decade. They had a winning record, unlike the Lakers, and they won a championship. They also had 6 playoff appearances, and their worst season was only 24 losses, so it's alright. They were mid in every category, but they won a championship and they had a winning record, so better than the Lakers. My number 9, the Toronto Raptors. They spent the second half of the season on top of the Eastern Conference, and if it weren't for LeBron James, they might be higher on this list, but because of LeBronto, lost in the first round twice, lost in the semifinals twice, lost in the conference finals, and won the 2019 NBA championship. Because of that, they're number 9, winning record, and they had pretty decent stats as well, so can't hate. My number 8, the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers spent the decade near the top with the record and near the bottom of the league in playoff success. Produced 4 first round exits, 3 second round exits. How are you that successful in the regular season? Number 6 in the entire league. And you have nothing to show for it. Just crazy. My number 7, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The inspirational 2016 NBA World Champs accomplished more in 5 seasons than the 23 teams before them accomplished in 10 seasons. The J.R. Smith effect. They were literally probably the best team in the league, or second best, for a couple seasons there. And yeah, they were trash the other time, so number 7 is decent. Still had a losing record, but they did literally everything else an NBA team can have, so number 7. My number 6 is the Houston Rockets. Mainly because look at that record. Sheesh. And look at the stats. Offensive rating number 2. And let's not forget, they were 1 quarter away from beating the 2018 Golden State Warriors, going to the finals actually. 2013 onwards, they were good in the playoffs, so 7 straight playoff appearances. And yeah, they never won a ring, but they did everything except that. MVP and everything. My number 5 is the Boston Celtics. In different forms, the Celtics managed to remain a fixture in the East. They made the playoffs 9 out of 10 seasons and only lost in the first round 3 times. They made the second round twice and the conference finals 3 times. They made the 2010 NBA Finals, and they made it to Game 7 of the 2010 NBA Finals, where they could have won a championship as well. This team literally did everything except win a championship. Look at the record. Look at the stat. Defensively, this team was crazy. But they didn't win a championship, so they're number 5. My number 4, the Oklahoma City Thunder. 9 playoff appearances as well. 1 first round exit, 2 second round exits, and 2 exits in the Western Conference Finals. And there was that time in the 2012 NBA Finals. Again, just a team which did everything except win the championship. All-Stars, 6-man, Coach of the Year, Executive of the Year. No championships though. But look at the record. At least they did something good. They won. My number 3, the San Antonio Spurs. 10 winning seasons. They won 58% of their playoff series. 10 straight playoff appearances. Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Executive of the Year, championship. This team added to 2 prior decades of success with a third. Look at that. Ridiculous. First in simple rating, first in record, first in defensive rating. 10 playoff appearances, 1 coach. They did literally everything you can do. My number 2 is the Miami Heat. Now, where do we get started with the Miami Heat? Just like the Spurs, they were successful. They had everything. Scoring champion, Executive of the Year, All-Star Game MVP, the 2012 and 2013 NBA championships as well. But like they made 4 straight NBA finals. And they made a couple first round, second rounds as well. The 2010 they made it to the first round, 2018 the second round, and 2016 the second round. So they were pretty good even if you don't count LeBron's time. Number 2. And my number 1 team of the decade, I mean, kind of obvious, but it's got to have to be the Golden State Warriors. Believe it or not, they were only 3rd in record. But they had 7 winning seasons, 7 playoffs, 3 championships, the best season literally ever in 2016. They had championships, MVPs, finals MVPs, coach of the year, defensive player of the year, executive of the year. They did everything. They even won the 3-point contest, sportsman of the year. Yeah, that's the end. The Warriors just did really good in 2010, and everyone else needs to just shut up. Let's go Warriors. Alright, now that I finally said the thing I wanted to say, thanks for watching. If you want me to rank other decades, I really want to do it, but I guess only if people care. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Whatever.